A potential shift in the Big Ten Conference's non-conference scheduling requirement is being discussed, as reported by Brett McMurphy of the Action Network. According to McMurphy, the conference is strongly considering eliminating the mandate for Big Ten teams to schedule a Power 5 non-conference opponent as part of their non-conference schedule each season, starting from the 2024 season. Teams would still be permitted to schedule games against FCS opponents. This potential change coincides with the addition of the USC Trojans and the UCLA Bruins to the Big Ten. Now, while the conference's scheduling format is yet to be officially determined, McMurphy notes that the Big Ten is expected to maintain a 9-game league schedule unless any unforeseen circumstances arise. The expansion to a 16-team league in 2024, including USC and UCLA, is likely to impact the conference's scheduling dynamics, including how often teams have to travel to the West Coast, etc. When you schedule a P5 opponent in those non-conference games, those are normally done as home and home, so basically, you play here, we'll play there kind of deals. It's important to note that college football schedules are often planned well in advance, with teams already having opponents set for the upcoming seasons. Despite the potential removal of the P5 non-conference requirement, many Big Ten schools have already scheduled P5 opponents through about 2030 or so. Now, it remains uncertain whether these schools will retain their Power 5 non-conference opponents or if they're going to make adjustments to their schedules by reducing the number of P5 teams they'll face outside the conference. As noted, Ohio State has already canceled their series with Washington that was slated to begin next year. They'll have to buy out of those contracts if they want to get out of them, and some of those can be pretty expensive. So as the changes to Big Ten scheduling are still being discussed, the full extent of these adjustments is really yet to be seen. However, it is evident that a shift is on the horizon. This development is undoubtedly going to be a topic of interest and worth monitoring in the coming years. In my opinion, this is not going to affect teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, etc. Of course, I say that, and Ohio State just canceled that Washington series, but I think this is being done more for schools like Maryland, Rutgers, and Indiana, so that it's easier for them to reach bowl eligibility. If the SEC moves to non-conference games, I imagine you'll see that P5 non-conference opponent requirement go away for them as well. At Ohio State, just on Thursday, they added home games with Marshall in 2024, and then 2029, they've got Nevada and Charlotte, or Nevada, whatever. We've been over this. But those are both seasons where they don't have a P5 non-conference schedule yet. In 27 and 28, they play Alabama. In 30 and 31, they play Georgia. I don't think we're going to have to worry about this with the bigger teams. A big part of this is also the fact that in some years, teams could have only 4 home conference games if you've got a 9-game schedule, and then they'll have 5 road games. A lot of those are going to include a trip to California. If you toss on another road P5 game, you're just getting ridiculous at that point. Only 6 home games. You've got 6 road games, all against Power 5 opponents. It could include a trip to the West Coast. It could, all sorts of things. I do remember, however, being told that with the expansion of the CFP to 12 teams, we were more likely to see better non-conference matchups. I don't think that they took expansion into those thoughts. At the end of the day, the win-loss record is going to matter a lot more than the strength of schedule. At least it appears. So it looks like the Big Ten is getting ahead of that as well. The SEC, of course, deciding between 8 and 9 games. Now the Big Ten may not require P5 non-cons. What a world we are living in with this scheduling game going on. This sport's going to look drastically different going forward. Just unbelievable. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.